Getting started with the Embabel agent framework. Welcome, everyone. Today we'll explore how to get started with the Embabel agent framework using a simple Spring Boot application. The goal of this lesson is to understand how an Embabel agent shell works, how it interacts with your application, and how it enables intelligent agents in a natural way. Purpose. The application serves as the entry point for a Spring Boot app that integrates Embabel's agent framework. Its purpose is to bootstrap the runtime environment, enable the agent shell, and activate a themed logging system, in this case, a playful Star Wars theme. Once the application starts, it logs a friendly tip through a startup callback, showing how to issue a simple command to the agent. Imports. The project builds on three main elements: Spring Boot for the application's core and dependency management, SLF4J for structured and consistent logging, and Embabel's annotations that enable and configure the agents. Together, they create a runtime that's simple, readable, and AI-ready. Class and annotations. In the main class, several annotations are used to configure the environment. The Spring Boot annotation sets up auto-configuration and component scanning. Then, another annotation enables the Embabel interactive shell. Finally, one more annotation activates the agents themselves and defines the logging theme. These configurations make the application both reactive and extendable without extra setup. Logger. A logger is declared at the class level to handle all runtime messages. It provides a clean, standardized way to record application events, diagnostics, and information messages. This helps maintain observability and ensures the agent's behavior can be tracked consistently through logs. Main method. When the application runs, the main method starts the Spring Boot environment. Because the class implements a startup callback interface, a specific method runs immediately after startup. Inside that callback, a message is logged to help the user interact with the agent shell, a small but useful demonstration of what the framework can do right away. Greeting agent. This component defines a simple Embabel agent, one that generates friendly greetings based on what a user says. It demonstrates how Embabel turns natural language into structured, meaningful responses. The agent is identified by a name and description so that the framework can recognize it. Inside it, there's an action that handles the goal of generating a greeting. When a user sends a message, the agent receives it along with a context object that provides access to AI tools and runtime utilities. The agent builds a clear and concise prompt, instructing the model to produce a short, warm greeting. It then selects an appropriate model and generates a structured response. The result is a greeting domain object, which can be logged, displayed, or serialized by the application. Greeting domain object. The greeting class defines the structure of that generated output. It's a simple, immutable object that holds the greeting text. This design keeps the data concise and safe, ensuring that once created, the greeting cannot be modified. By representing the output as a value object, it becomes easier to validate, serialize, and extend later. For instance, you could add fields for personalization, tone, or language, depending on your application's needs. Maven configuration overview. Now, let's talk briefly about the Maven configuration that powers the project. The application inherits from the Spring Boot starter parent, which handles dependency management and plugin defaults. It defines its group, artifact, version, and descriptive information for consistent build identity. Java 17 is the language version, and Embabel's library version is pinned through project properties. The dependencies include the Spring Boot core starter, the Embabel agent starter for AI capabilities, and the Spring Boot test starter for testing. A build plugin packages the application as an executable jar, and repositories are defined to resolve all needed artifacts, from Maven Central, Embabel's release and snapshot repositories, and Spring's milestone sources. Together, These configurations ensure a smooth, aligned build process and enable developers to bring intelligent agents into Spring Boot with minimal setup. How it fits together. Spring Boot provides the solid runtime foundation. Embabel introduces the agent capabilities that interpret natural language, and the repositories ensure the required components can be retrieved during the build. This modular design makes the system both flexible and maintainable. Configuration profile. Finally, the application uses a Spring profile called shell. This means that when you run the app, it will apply the specific settings tied to that profile. Under the Embabel configuration, the default language model is set to GPT 4.1 Mini. This ensures that even if no model is specified in the code, the framework uses a reliable default. The logging level for Embabel packages is configured to show informational messages, which helps keep output readable and focused on relevant events. Runtime summary. Once launched, the app sets up a Spring Boot environment, activates the Embabel agent shell, and starts all agents using the selected logging theme. The output message you see at startup guides you to try a natural language command in the agent shell, helping you experience the framework's capabilities directly. Next steps. To continue experimenting, run the application and observe the startup tip in the logs. Then, try typing a natural language command in the agent shell to see how the agents respond. This is the best way to get hands-on with Embabel's features and understand how easily it integrates with your Java environment. Closing. In summary, this lesson walks you through how to bootstrap a Spring Boot project that integrates Embabel's intelligent agent framework. You've seen how annotations enable AI capabilities, how the greeting agent transforms natural language into structured output, and how the application's configuration supports a smooth, efficient development experience. By the end of this lesson, you should understand how to run, configure, and extend an Embabel agent-powered Spring Boot app, and be ready to build your own intelligent agents within Java.